Got my laptop on, and I feel alright. I got a few joints rolled, and my munchies made. Got my headphones on, and I close the door, don't disturb me. It's time to stand up tall and say some things about the shitty world we're living in with the boys at Raconteurs News. C'est Raconteurs, c'est Raconteurs, c'est Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News, Raconteurs News. Oh yeah.
Good evening and welcome to Raconteurs News. It's Tuesday, the 24th of October. Where is the year going? I know I say this every single year, every single show. Where is the year going? That's the question. Speaking up, and are we? I don't know. Anyway, some other bollocks that comes out of my mouth when I'm introducing the show. My name's Jason Holmes. I'm here to remind everyone, and not just for Aid today. And we've got an incredible guest on tonight, and welcoming back to Raconteurs News guest. I can hear him moaning. I'm looking at him laid down, and he seems to be in a lot of pain with his back.
I've got my feet up.
He's a soldier, and he's still managed and attend and join us on Raconteurs News. Colin Worrall, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, fair to middling, mate. Fair to middling. As always, as everyone is at this minute in time, aren't we? We're all struggling, all peed off, all annoyed, but I'm there. I'm still plodding on.
Oh, brilliant! Well, I can see you. I see you. You're clearly in a lot of pain, and I do feel for you, but. I'm afraid you're going to have to talk to me for a couple of hours because I'm here. I've got me glass of me gin and tonic, and I'm in front of the fire. I'm just waiting to find out what it is that the information you're coming to bring us. So why don't we start off with a brief background? You've been on Raconteurs, and we are quite aware of, but for the listeners, anybody that's listening that hasn't heard of you before or doesn't know you from or didn't hear the Raconteurs News episode that we did before, why don't you just give us a brief rundown of who you are, what it is that you do?
If you Google my name, and according to Home Mail, I'm an activist.
Right, that's a newspaper.
Yeah, sorry, the Home Mail is our daily news. Well, not newspaper, it's a live paper, isn't it? I'm an activist. To the councillors, I'm the Western Hate Mayor. To the councillors and MPs of Hull. But all it's been about for me is in the area, sorting the area out, trying to find out. We've all got a lot of problems. Sheffield, same as Hull, has got its problems, and we was the biggest housing estate in Europe at one point.
Is that the Sutton Fields one, or is it the Sutton Fields, or is it called Brandzone? Brandzone, right?
Brandzone. Sutton Fields is right next door to us. That's where quite a few jobs are.
Yeah.
So basically, the housing estate was the biggest housing estate in Europe, and the council have just bled us all dry, basically. Took all the money and not done nothing in 50 years. So me being the bright spark that I am, decided to stand for my local council 3 years ago, and I watched blatant fraud, fiddling of election boxes and ballot boxes. I've been told you're crying because you've lost and all this and the other rubbish.
Tell us about that process. How does that process work? How do you go from? I mean, it's easy to just sit there and say, "I'm going to stand for my local council," but in reality, the mechanics of it, how does that work?
Yeah, just decide to. I was going to say join a party, but you can't because they're closed. They don't let you in. They're sort of like crafty sods. They're sort of like. This is why it's always the same faces in your local council. Your MPs are always the same faces because the people that actually run your Labour and your Conservative, they're all the same. There is no difference from Labour, Conservative, UKIP, the Green Party, the Edit. They're all the same. They're all run in the background. And the people that your forefronts, your MPs, your faces of the parties, they're chosen. That's who you can vote for. Well, me being the prat that I am, asked to join my local Labour Party because I've voted Labour all my life. I believed in it. I was fantastic, Let me get in with my party that I should be involved in, Oof, Christ. That upset them all. They all decided to block me, ban me from residents' meetings, the full works.
Was this the Labour Party or the council itself? The Labour Party was banning you. So you're a member of the Labour Party.
No, they won't let me be a member. No, they won't let me be a member.
Right. Okay.
I wanted to be. Yeah, because to me, I'm going back 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, of course.
So 4 or 5 years ago, I'm like, well, I voted Labour all my life. I'm a Labour man. I'm from Hull, working man all my life, usual stuff. I'll join them. No, you're not allowed. We don't want people like you. Right. Okay. Well, okay, I'll... then this thing called UKIP come up on the TV. So I thought, okay, if you won't let me in, I'll go with these because I'm not bothered. I mean, it could have been Conservative. At the end of the day, I was not bothered at all. I was just sort of like, right, I want to see how things work. I want to see how not how bad things are, but how actually things actually work in the council. So UKIP said, yeah, come aboard, no problem whatsoever. We've got this guy called Michael Cum. You'll have heard of him. Jane Collins. They're the MEP people for Yorkshire.
Right.
Total set of wazzocks, pair of them. Gets them in.
That's a good Yorkshire word, isn't it? Wazzocks.
Yeah, they're absolutely bad wazzocks as well. We get them in, and what happens next? They decide to bully a woman councillor. Well, this woman councillor come all the way down from Ripon to Hull for the night to our elections, and she was pointing loads out that I was doing wrong. And we saw like, that's wrong. The counting the papers wrong. None of the numbers added up, all this and the other stuff. So I jumps onto it with her and I said, look, shows how to do it properly then. Because obviously these clowns are just taking the piss. Because all they're doing is not doing elections properly. With that, all of a sudden I get blocked from UKIP. So I'm blocked from my local residents' meetings. I'm blocked from Labour. There's a pattern emerging. So I'm like, this is taking the piss. There's obviously someone out there that doesn't want me to stand. Simple as that.
Right. And did you end up standing? Did you end up standing as an independent?
That was no. And literally the next year, because I thought I couldn't work out what was wrong and what wasn't wrong. So the first year was with UKIP. I just watched total fiddling. I literally walked out shouting, "You're all corrupt bastards! Every single one of you is just corrupt. What you're doing is just disgustingly corrupt and what's out. The next year, there was a place called Yorkshire First approached me and said, "Oh, would you come and stand for us?" Like, so yeah, why not? I still need to. I didn't feel I had enough experience. You know what I mean? To go as an independent.
Mm-hmm.
Again, at that election night, they literally cut my name off the ballot papers. When I found out.
They actually physically cut your name off the ballot papers, so that even if everybody wanted to vote for you, there was no way that they could have done anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And wasn't there any adjudicators? Wasn't there anybody there that you could? I know this might sound a little bit naive, and I can see the look on your face.
No, because
on my part, but wasn't there anybody that you could say, "Hang on a minute, just look at this. They've cut my name off this ballot paper. Surely, you're going to get your deposit back."
Oh, you don't pay.
Like that. So, all right, okay. So it's just council.
Local councillors, they don't pay.
Right.
They don't pay. MPs pay. Local councillors, all you pay for is like your advertising and stuff like that. That's it. You don't pay to be a local councillor. But yes, there is. And this guy called Ian Anderson is a chief legal officer of Hull. He was chief legal officer in Scarborough and he got booted out of there. And he ended up in Hull. Lovely pension, lovely wages. And the Pratt had a word with him after the first election. And I said to him, I'm trying to put it polite, and there is no way I can. Said, "You fucking fiddle the cunt. Why are you fiddling it?" His exact words were, "We're allowed to fiddle." All this is done to make Colin Worrall kick off, to make Colin Worrall hit somebody, to make Colin Worrall so they can have a photo of me smacking some gun or jumping on some gun's head or along them lines, because we're animals. They're not animals. We're animals, and when we do something wrong, it's throw the book at them and send them to prison. When they do something wrong, it's they made a mistake.
Get promoted.
And that as well, yeah.
Well, that's what they do, isn't it? I mean, you see it. We've had it in Sheffield. The corruption in Sheffield is tremendous.
Right.
And the amount of and I know somebody who was standing a few years ago in Barnsley. And he was asking questions about where certain amounts of money had gone, and I know that was central to one of your campaigns. Was you wanted to find out where the money that Kingston Communications, where the money when that was sold off, where that had gone, because that should have belonged to the people of Hull.
That's correct, and unfortunately, after 4 FOIs. Over 7 years of asking how you spent the money, no reply whatsoever. After 7 police visits to my house to tell me to stop asking questions, why do you want to know about this money? Who are you? And all this and the other shit. Just no answer whatsoever. And that's how bad it's getting. They know that they can't prove where this money's gone. That's the problem. Now, if I go claim council tax, or if I go to job centre and say, look, I'm out of work, blah, 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 I need JC, SA, whatever it is, I had to provide paperwork from my backside. I had to provide blood. I had to provide bank accounts going back months. Yet these people in council say they don't need to. And when you question them, you're the activist. You're a
protagonist.
Protagonist. You're a thief. You're scum. Why are you asking us questions? How dare you? And that's the stage it gets to. That's the stage you get to where that's why I decided to stand and find out how things work and who's the one that actually decides whether you win or not. And it's the council staff. If they don't like you, and they're told beforehand, oh, God, if he gets in, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose your job. But the daft bastards have lost their jobs in the first place. Because the silly get fucking sacked or laid off a year down the line. So they're getting lied to left, right, and centre, and they're taking this in, and then they're still walking out saying, "Oh, well, we're Labour supporters." They're all corrupt, every bit of it, from top down. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Article 61. Have you heard of that yet?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, is it the Bill of Rights?
Yeah, the Magna Carta.
Magna Carta. Yeah.
Article 61. In there's all the laws of the law of basically from how law was supposed to be, where you're going to get judged by your own peers, blah 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 blah. It's all. We're all getting conned left, right, and centre by these people abusing the system, and these are clever. I hate this because they're not clever people, and they say, "Oh, these are clever people that are running the councils." They're not clever at all. They're very, very stupid. They believe that they have rights to screw everybody over and have no responsibility for it, or not responsibility. They don't
accountability.
Accountability. Cheers, Matt. They've got no accountability whatsoever. Because when you do pull them up and you do report them, like I've done to the police, I've done 2-hour statements to the police about that £320 million and the fiddled elections. The last election I was on, there must have been about half a dozen coppers there, and all they was doing was fixated on me.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, Andy's who's producing for me tonight, my former co-host, and he's popped something in the chat room, and he's just said that it might be worth looking into Hull County Council or City Council pension pot if you can, Colin, because that's where the 300 million quid that's missing is.
Yeah, it would be. It would be about 7 years later. It'll be somewhere now. I don't know, man. And I honestly don't know. I mean, I got told, "Oh, we built the schools with it." Right. Well, if you built that, why did you put a grant in for that? And where's the money gone? 30 years ago, Hull City Council employed, and this is all together employed. This is your bus drivers, the mechanics, your road sweepers, your binmen, the full works. Hull City Council employed 65,000 people 30 years ago. We're down to 10,000 now. Where's all that money gone? All of a sudden, this has opened a massive network of, well, we're saving money. Well, if you're saving money, right, excellent. You know, everyone wants to save money. But where's that money gone that employed 55,000 people gone?
Well, isn't the answer that all those services have now been farmed out to private companies, and that those people at a much larger cost to the taxpayer?
Yeah, that was supposed to be cheaper.
And it's supposed to be cheaper. It's a bit of an oxymoron. It's a bit like everything, isn't it? When it comes to government and people, is that when they say they're trying to save money, what they're actually saying is we're trying to draw out money into private hands.
Yeah, only their mates' hands are. As you'll see, like I said, it's the same faces in the councils because it's the same faces running these companies. These private companies that they've councils said, well, we don't want this. Like KWL in Hull. KWL was from Hull City Council to do all the joinery, the gas, the electrics. That was it to start off with. Now they're actually doing the taxi MOTs. They're doing they've got their hands in everything. Who's employed as the directors of KWL? Only, I think it's about 6 or 7 councillors. I might be wrong on 6 or 7. I don't know how many it is, but 6 or 7 councillors of Hull. They're the directors of it. I mean, it's all BS.
What did you say? We're called KWS because there's a similar with KWL, we've got a similar company in Sheffield that does a lot of that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The joinery, the boilers, that sort of thing. Called Kia. I don't know if they're the same one, the same company.
We had Kia here, and I don't know what happened, but KWL must have booted them out because what happened was I think his name's Darren Hale, sorry, is the second in command of Labour councillors in Hull City Council, and he's one of the directors of this KWL. Well, it used to be Kia. Obviously, they got booted out of Hull, and these breaks back. Well, we can have the money for this. You know, we can charge the council 50 quid for a gas check and whatever, boosting the price up of supposedly saving money for Hull City Council. It's every single bit of it. We can't even get the grass cut round here. So you got to. I was at one residents' meeting before I got blocked, and there was on about, want to put these trees up or stubs up to stop these gypsies getting on this piece of land. So it's like, right, and it's going to cost £20,000 for all these stubs and this, that, and the other. All right. But we can't even get our grass cut. Why on earth would you do that when you can't even cut the grass? Surely you're mismanaging the money. And not long after that, I got blocked. You're not allowed in here. You're too violent, this, that, and the other. And that's all you get off these people. More and more people need to realise, look, it doesn't cost nothing to stand in your local elections. You've got to go to these local elections, but people are allowed to go. Public are not allowed to go to elections.
I've got to ask you this question. You know, when they say you're too violent, you're too aggressive, whatever, was there any point where you might have been able to say, yes, I was a bit aggressive at this one? Yes, and was there any violence at all? I have to ask you this question.
Never.
You brought it up.
Never. I've never been violent. My ex-wife would say I was violent at one point, but that's the only person from my old 50 years that has ever said I've been violent. I've never been a violent person, not one bit. So no, the problem is because of the way I talk to them. I basically tell them, look, you're fiddling.
You tell them
they
straight.
Don't like that word. Yeah, they don't.
They don't. Of course, they don't like. They don't like being told straight that they're fiddling. They know that you're fiddling, and of course, then you're exposing yourself as somebody who knows what the game is that they're playing, and that's going to make them feel uncomfortable. And so we're going to get a lot of like snowflake type people. You know, these people that will cry offence or violence or aggression at anything. I mean, I've encountered them myself. Not very long ago. I was in a group on Facebook which was to do with antiphospholipid syndrome, which is something that I've got. It's a condition I've got, and all I said was, because I posted the inclined bed therapy stuff, and I posted a link to that, and they said, "Oh no, you can't post that. It's all this and it's all that and it's the other." And I said to her, look, you're running this group not as a support group, but just as a support group that's just defending Big Farm. And she banned me away from it because I was being aggressive, which I wasn't. I mean, I don't even understand how anybody can be aggressive at the end of a screen.
You usually, when you start, it's like when you hear conspiracy theories. Now, you're the same as me. When you hear conspiracy theories now, you think, well, that means the truth. Many years ago, you'd have thought, well, no, I don't mean the truth. That's some, that person's been wronged, and that's why they're upset. Conspiracy theories, crying wolf is, I mean, look, the MP of Old Carl Turner turned around and said I broke into his house. Blatantly lied to police, blatantly lied to courts to get an injunction out, a private injunction out on me for a year, to keep away from him for a year. All councillors and MPs of Hull. Now, he was saying that I was being violent to him. Wrong way around, mate. I knocked on his door. Basically said, look, Carl, there's £320 million missing in Hull Council. Come to Cop Shop with me and let's sort this out. In other words, mate, I'm arresting you. His words come out of his mouth was, fuck off 4 times. And I mean, not quiet. He was going purple. And he shouted at me 4 times to fuck off. And I basically just thought, you're an idiot. And I walked away. But everyone else hears, well, he's broke into Carl Turner's house. So, you know, they do right at putting an injunction on him. Yeah, I put an affidavit in for this. And Hull Mill's got it in Hull. And other places have got it. And Carl Turner won't put an affidavit in for it to say what was said and what was done, because it's all bloody lies. But I've been made out to be the bad bastard, the aggressive one. I was front page news in Hull Mill for 2 days running. You only get front page news if you're a murderer, surely, and along them lines. You know, they're the people that deserve that sort of notoriety. But
you didn't break into his house, this MP's house. Now, if all these people, if you're being accused of breaking into his house, surely he doesn't have to get an injunction, because he would be able to, if you were questioned and arrested and questioned about things, then he wouldn't need to go to the expense of getting a private injunction, because he would get one on your bail conditions.
Of course he would. I'd have been arrested for starters.
So they did. You were never arrested for breaking into his house?
No. PC Plod turned up at my house. The ones with guns as well. I wasn't used to this, you know what I mean? I'm sort of like, what the fuck? You know, my ass fell out a bit. And I'm sort of like, well, I ain't done now wrong here. All I've done is gone and asked my MPs questions about money. And they literally turned around and said, yeah, you're right, actually. Yeah, no problem. See you later. And that was it. That was the only involvement I had off police. And I'm like, well, what are you doing this for? The reason why I'm doing it is to discredit me, because I knew that I was going to go for MP the next year or so. And when I went for MP for the next year or so, all of a sudden I lost all my paperwork. How does that happen?
Yeah.
So everything, all they've done is bullied it, harassed me. They've done the full works, and all I've ever done is smile on my face, no problem. Because no, in the end, I'll get you. In the end, I will get you. I will fucking have you, but I'll have you legally. I'll have it where you're going to be the one that is going down to jail, not me. Like I said, I ain't got a bad bone in my body. The ones that are okay. Not one bit. Not aggressive, not anything.
We've got. I just want to bring this up. We've got a comment in the chat room. It's from Mithrin. How you doing, Mithrin? I hope you're all right. I hope you're all right and you're all feeling good. This is from Mithrin. He's put, I don't understand that. I think he's talking about when you were talking about conspiracy theories. In my mind, a conspiracy has always meant two or more people acting in concert against a third party. And I think that's the point, isn't it? That the language we use has been bastardized, and it's been, someone says conspiracy, and immediately the word that you associate with that is theory, and that's the way that we've been conditioned.
Unfortunately, I must apologise to him. How I meant it was, when you heard the word conspiracy theory now, I always think, conspiracy theory, this must be the truth.
Right.
It's not a conspiracy no more. These people are telling the truth. So I apologise. I put myself across how I meant to put myself across. So, yeah, that's how I feel along the lines where I hear conspiracy theorists now.
And that is an example of what I was just talking about. You know, where we've been conditioned so that certain words are
You have to be cock on,
accompanied with other words, and then it's given a completely different meaning to what actually the words mean. And so, conspiracy theory in that context does take on, like you say, most people when they hear conspiracy theory, it's designed to make them yawn and think, "Oh my God, no, it's that, no." But again, it also has the opposite effect on people that know that these things happen, and so they think, "Oh, actually, I might have to have a look at this." You know, just even if, because a good, decent conspiracy theorist or a truther or whatever you want to call us, or somebody that's looking to get truth, that we have so many hurdles to get over.
Oh, Christ!
The first one, and it's difficult to be able to try to convey what you're saying to somebody in a way that it doesn't sound woo-woo, because we're in this world where up, down is up, black is white. It's just nuts. War is peace, peace is war.
Christ, when was out canvassing on election day, and this woman was coming over with a bin in a pram, and are you voting, love? Yeah, I've done my vote. Yeah, you voted for me, you know, this is my area. I'm voting for you, you're a racist. No, I'm not. You are, you're a racist. No, I'm not a racist at all. Well, I'm telling you and just scuttled off. Would not stop and talk and let me explain. Look, you know, that's just the party that's being accused of being racist and this, that, and the other. Again, don't forget, this is 4 or 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's before I knew. Hang on a minute. This is person taking the piss, and this is to make you feel bad. Well, these to me was my people, the same as me, lied to, and the only reason why the local council could sort of like say, well, you don't want to vote for him because of this, and the only thing they had was, well, because he's a racist. And that was it. And you saw like, it's a bad word. It didn't stick. You know what I mean? It was just a case of, well, how stupid of somebody believing that someone from Branzome is a racist or anything else at that. And yet the thieves and the liars and the cheats are the ones that are able to manipulate every election. Every stage of the election. Like I said, public aren't allowed in at election time. They're not allowed. They're not allowed to be there because the public are dishonest as far as they're concerned. Us as candidates aren't allowed past certain barriers because we're dishonest. Yet it took 4 hours for 6 staff to count less than 6,000 ballot papers. Now, let's put this in context. If I give you 6,000 £10 notes and asked you to just count 6,000 £10 notes, how long do you reckon it'd take you to count 6,000 £10 notes? How long do you reckon? Half an hour? 3/4 of an hour?
Well, it'd take you an hour, wouldn't it?
Okay, I'll give you the hour. Yet it took 6 people, 6 council staff, 4 hours to count 6,000 ballot papers. That's just one example. Another example, it took 2 hours for ballot boxes to come from Sutton to the town centre. Now, that's a journey of, I'm not even going to say 10 miles at 10 o'clock on a night. Yeah, I'd say about 4 or 5 miles. Let's give the benefit of the doubt, though. Let's say they need to go around to get a kebab, have a cup of tea, go to McDonald's. Let's give them the
Have a
benefit
shit.
of the doubt.
They might need a shit as well. They might wipe their asses on some of the ballot papers that have got your name on them.
Could have quite possibly done that. So let's give them the benefit of the doubt and say 10 mile, 2 hours. But I can't work this out. These are honest people. No, they're not. These are supposedly honest people that are lying, cheating, every single one of us. Because if they're doing this, and if they're doing things like this, what else are they doing in the background? What about the stuff we don't know about? When my first election, my first 3 ballot boxes come out. Then 2 hours later, late ballot boxes come out. Now, I'd won it on the first 3. I'd absolutely crucified the councillor on the first 3, and he was having a heart attack. He was roaring. He was roaring in the corridor that had lost his job and all this sort of that. Like a clown that I am, I turned around to him and said, "Yeah, get your job centre Monday, mate. You know, you've lost. Get out of it." An hour later, 2 hours later, was when these late ballot boxes come out and totally wiped me out. Totally wiped out all my ballots. And when you question it, like the numbers was wrong, and we questioned the numbers, all we got told was, no, the numbers are correct. That's it, carry on. When we questioned why my name off the second ballot, second election, why my name was cut off the ballot papers, that doesn't matter. These are all laws, actual laws, that these people are breaking. And they're allowed to do it. They was doing it in front of the coppers. There's the postal vote fiasco. I'd actually caught one of the staff coming back, supposedly doing my ballot papers, and said to a lot, you know, have you just checked them? So yeah, I've just checked them. They're all okay. This, that, and the other. Well, can we go back and check them again? No. What do you mean no? Why? You know, can we please go back? And I'm polite and everything. I'm polite as hell at the start. You know what I mean? I'm like, real, you know, polite as anybody. 3 or 4 times I'd asked her, you know, can we please go back? You know, so I can check them with you. No. Next minute, we'll get the seeing Anderson down. I said, you can get him down. He promised me that there was going to be no fiddling at this election. So he comes down. Oh, it's like this, Cole. It's like this. It's like a football match, and this guy, he's the referee. And whatever he says goes. I looked up in Google, and I looked in the sky, and I went, I'll tell you what, Ian, we're not at a fucking football match. We're in a fucking election, and you are doing the frigging job right. You're taking the piss. You're fiddling again. And basically, that's when I blow. That's when I start telling them the untruths, which I don't like. Nobody likes untruths, I suppose, but I basically kick. You're all fucking fiddling, cheating, corrupt bastards. Every single one of you. And this is staff, but this is staff that's your next door neighbour. That's my next door neighbour. That lives in the same areas we live in. And these are the people that decide if you're going to be a councillor or an MP or stuff like that. How can they lose paperwork, for God's sake, without it being... And you can't complain to nobody. You can go through the ombudsman shite, and that doesn't work. I've been through the ombudsman. I've been through the IPCC. I've done the full works. I've gone right through the system of complaints. And it just comes to a dead end. Stops at the end of it. No,
it's complete. It's the complaint system, the IPCC, that sort of thing. It just not even fit for purpose. For anybody who's just joining us, I just want to explain. We've got Colin Worrall on the line. He's laid down. He's got a bad back, and I'm telling you, it's really painful looking at his face.
It is.
So It is really painful, but he is persevering. This is Colin Worrall. He's run for council in Hull a couple of times, and he's exposing the corruption within Hull Council. And the election system itself, democracy. I mean, this is undermining democracy. This is an outrage. How can
this is every city.
They do this right in front of the people that are supposed to be protecting us from this.
This is every city. I've worked out that this has got to be every single city. I am not the only one out there that's complaining about elections. I'm not the only one.
Yeah, I like I was saying to you earlier on, a few years ago, I did bump into somebody, and I for the life of me, I can't remember his name, but he was standing for Parliament in Barnsley, and it must have been in fact, it might have been around about 2010 era. But what he was standing for was he was wanting to know why Barnsley Council had got I think it was about £80 million stashed in Icelandic banks when the bank, these councils are stashing our money away. The money they take is the money that they take with pain of being locked up. It's not just on. Please give us some money. If you consent to this and you don't pay, you're going to get locked up. And yet they're stashing that in Icelandic banks and losing it.
Right. Put that Icelandic banks in brackets, will you?
Okay.
Because I got told out of this 320 million KC shares money that they put £50 million in the Icelandic bank. That's where £50 million in brackets went. Right, that's no problem. Then you can prove that because we live in the 21st century now, and everything can be proved. That Icelandic bank never got mentioned anymore. They can find out exactly where every penny's gone for the past 20 years because of the banking system. You see, there's some things that has really, really helped us, and yet at the time it's been like Big Brother. Your CCTV cameras, right? Not many people like them, do they?
No.
It's
if you're a fan of liberty, you don't like them.
Yeah, and it's also, it's privacy and blah, 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 all this, that, and the other. I love them because these CCTV... Yeah, I know. These CCTV cameras are going to prove all the fiddling bastards, all the ones that are actually doing the crimes, it's all on CCTV. Every bit. So I love them. I love them to that extent. So to me, put more in the councils. But
the problem is that as soon as there's anything that's worth investigating, the CCTV cameras are completely rendered completely useless. I mean, we've seen this with all these terrorist incidents. Yes. And so,
Yeah, that's true. Unfortunately,
CCTV cameras in place is, it's going to make sure that you get prosecuted for something, but it's not necessarily.
And same with councils, mate. Until we get ordinary people in the councils, ordinary people running CCTV cameras, ordinary people even running the prisons, because it's the same scenario for each and every one of us.
But it's not in the best interest of the firms.
Fuck the firms. Fuck the firms.
I know. I know. Fuck the firms, but we can't just go in and do you know what? I'm in the position. I've been into the CCTV centre in Hull, the one in Hull. It's a great place. It's
humongous.
It's massive, and I've been there and delivered a few years ago, and I see all the great big screens and stuff, but it's no good. All that surveillance and all that evidence, it's no good if people gathering it are only gathering against.
This is why I said,
and not the councils.
Yeah, this is why I said when we get ordinary people into politics, into your council. When we get ordinary people that'll actually run these CCTVs, then you'll get honesty. Same with the prisons. Same with the prison service. Our kid was a prison officer, and after a few years, they got rid of him because he was too, look, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do the other. Get rid of him. Get him out. We don't want him. Because they're just taking the piss. The full lot are just taking the piss out of all of us. And it's all for profit. Everything's profit now. Everything. No matter what, it's profit. Once you get ordinary people running things, forget about the profit. If it ploughed back in, then that money should go into doing stuff for the areas that it's from. They stop doing all that now. They don't plough money back into the system. They just plough money back into the profits, which goes back to the bosses, which basically get rid of the bosses, get rid of the full lot. Because all they're doing is lining their own pockets. Your MEPs, when Mike Hookham got elected, the next day he wanted a secret meeting with only a couple of people. Well, I heard about this and I turned up. And I'm sat there with Mike Hookham and I said, right, Mike, now you're in. I want money to put Bransholm, for Bransholm to build a boxing club for my area. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing it? Well, because I want to lay me on. I want £300 a week first before I do anything, and that's his mentality. That's all the mentalities. Well, I want my money first before I'll do anything. And I'm like, hang on a minute. Why the fuck have we all busted our balls to get you voted in so that you can do stuff in the area? No. If I do that for the area... That's
up against, though, Colin, isn't it? That's what we're up against.
The mentality.
We're up against people that, first and foremost, have got their own interests at heart. First and foremost, lining their own pockets is what's important to them. Like you say, we do need to get people, good people, ordinary people, into council positions. But do you think that we need to make council positions and make all the everyone that works for a for me, everyone that works for a council should get the same rate of pay.
Yeah.
Right? They're doing the same job. Perhaps they're doing different jobs, but they're doing an equally job.
They're doing the same job.
They should all get the same pay. So that if you're working for the council, this is the pay. It's a working salary. I understand that completely. But what we're getting is people that are that will walk over other people in order to benefit themselves. So they will. We're getting people that will kick someone who's homeless. We're getting people that will just walk over, and that's because of the incentives. That's the type of person it attracts.
No, what we're getting is the kind of people we're getting now is your managers. They're called managers, and they're no more manager frigging piss up in a brewery. That have a brainstorming day and they decide, I'll tell you what, we can save some money here. What we'll do is, e.g., the bins, our bins. Right. A few years ago, gets letters through, your bin's got to be fortnightly, you've got to recycle. Now, don't get me wrong, I agree with recycling. I really do. I think that the more we do it, the better. But 10, 15 years ago, see, this is what people don't remember. 10, 15 years ago, the council used to recycle everything, go through everything, recycle it, sort the shit out, and dump the shit that needs to be dumped and recycle the stuff that needed to recycle. Well, some bright spark thought, well, hang on a minute, we can save some money here by making the residents do it. Right, the residents will only do so much. And then you'll get some bright spark that'll put something in the wrong bloody bin, and then they'll not get the bin taken because of that. Yet, that bright spark...
Do you find that happens, though? Do you find that happens, Colin? Because we recycle here. I mean, we've got a recycle bin and we've got a regular trash bin. And each individual week, so 1 week it's the recycling and 1 week it's the regular bin. And to be fair, it's not really...
It's not rocket science, is it?
I've not been... we've never had a problem with it. That's the
I
thing
have.
I've seen. Maybe you have. Maybe your
have.
experience is different to mine. But I've never had a problem. We've always put, even if we put something wrong into the recycle bin, it's never been unemptied.
It will be soon, mate. It's changing all over soon. So yeah, I did it. I made the mistake of putting some of that in the wrong bin. So I actually grabbed my bin, walks down the road to where the dust cart is, empty my bin. No, it's contaminated. Oh, fucking hell, I've got radiation in my fucking bin. I'm fucked. No, it's contaminated. Yeah. We're not emptying it. You're emptying my bin. It's as simple as that, mate. You are emptying my bin. Get my bin emptied. No, it's contaminated. What's it contaminated with? Well, that's in it. Something was in it. A piece of wood or something. I don't know how it got there, but it was in there. So I said, fine, I'll take it out. Takes it out. I empty my bin. No, it's contaminated. How was that? I've got the bit that you're saying that you can't have in. No, empty my fucking bin. No. I said, so I stopped the dust cart. I literally stopped it, stood in front of it, it's not going nowhere. So finally the managers come out. Look, it's like this is that. This. I said, right, fuck off. I said, 10, 15 years ago, you lot were sorting all the rubbish out. You lot have stopped doing it. I don't know who you're waving. Are you waving to me or?
I was just waving to Tina. Tina I saw Tina walking in on Andy. So I see.
I mean, she might have been bringing me a cup of tea that I asked for about half an hour ago.
Yeah, don't hold your breath.
Yeah. So I stopped the bin. The managers come out and I said, right, I'm having this. Get me bloody bin emptied. Yeah, no problem, Mr. Worrall will empty your bin. Gets emptied. A month later, something else happened. Now I know nothing was in my bin at this point. You know what I mean? I'm starting to check it now. So I know nothing's in it. And it doesn't get emptied. So again, I goes and stops the bin wagon. He rings the coppers. We're being told to ring the police. Well, what for? Ring your manager. I want your manager here. I don't want police here. I want your manager here. So police turn up. He turns around to me, asks me what's going on. Simple as this, mate. They emptied my bloody bin. He agreed with me. He actually agreed, did the copper. He was like, yeah, that's a point. They wouldn't enter my bin because of so-and-so. And I said, yeah, that's how daft it's getting. So anyhow, the manager turns up. And I said, right, you're emptying my bin. Whether you like it or you don't like it, start employing staff. Oh, yeah, but what we're doing with cost saving? Well, I don't give a fuck. You can cost save anywhere else. Cost save how you like. You still emptying my bloody bin. From then until now, which is a good few years ago, my bin's always been emptied. But that's because one bright spark had the idea of how we can save some money. And they're the bright sparks that shouldn't be employed. Because they're the bright sparks that don't save nobody no money. All it does is cost the council more. Mm-hmm. In the long run, it always costs the council more. So you need to find ordinary people, get them into these jobs, and you're not going to get as many cock-ups because it's going to be done properly. Because someone ain't going to be thinking, hang on, I can give that, if I give that job to my mate who owns that building firm and I can get 20 houses, this is crazy, this, but it's actually happened, you know. The council has demolished nearly 20,000 council houses in Hull.
Fucking ridiculous.
Alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I collared them about this, because like I said, it just happened every blasted door I go through opens 10 more. And yet I still keep on about the same thing, the 320 million. So I found out that the council had demolished nearly 20,000 council houses, flats, bungalows, blah, blah, blah. And it's criminal. It's criminal. Because all these land has been sold on to private for pennies. Absolute pennies.
Yeah, pennies on the pound, yeah.
Absolute pennies. And you sit there thinking, well, why hasn't the council reinvested that money that they're getting, Bransholm West alone, which is my area that I stood in, there's 4,000 houses. I think 20 or 25% are private, where they bought their own house. Maybe a bit more now.
Yep.
The other 75% or 75% are council. Yet, that's £100 a week per house. So that's, 75% of 4,000, 3,000 in it. 3,000. So, yeah. 3,000 houses. £100 a week. 30,000 is 30 grand a week, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. £30,000 a week from one section, from one little area that I stood in. 30 grand a week over 52 weeks. Fucking lot of money in it. It's mounting up now to millions and millions, right? All this money
I think it's about 3 million quid in it. I mean, I know 20,000 quid a week is a million quid, so it's probably about 2.5 million quid a week.
Yeah, £2.5 million a week in money coming in on one section of 4,000 houses. Now, when you sat there working out this money and working out that there's 20,000 council houses that have been demolished, again, another £2 million a week revenue coming in. This is only from one little area of Bransholm in Hull. Mm-hmm. That's just one little area. So they demolished 20,000 houses, they've sold the land on, and in some areas where they demolished, about 100 houses, roughly, a full close. And it was like 150 houses, roughly about that region. They built 10 houses. And you sat there scratching your head thinking, how on earth can you do this to the people? You've sold that land on for a penny, pounds, and all you've built is 10 houses, private houses, not council houses. So they're selling money
so
off.
The land's been sold off.
Yeah.
The council houses have been demolished and the land's been sold off. Listen, we're on at the top of the hour. So what I want to do is we're going to have a couple of records so we can have a comfort break. You can perhaps rub some deep heat in your back and that, because you're paying for this entire thing. But I just want to read a couple of comments that have been in the chat room. Mithrin, whenever they do shit, the CCTV is off, which is the point that I was making earlier on. Andy's put, the councils make a packet from recycling. Where's our do the job for? Yeah, when we do the job for them, you make a packet off recycling. And a non-5643 has written, yeah, fuck recycling until we get our 10p deposit back. So yeah, it's not the same thing on recycling. We understand it's a good thing, recycling, because we want to preserve the resource. So it's used as a weapon against us, and something that's not really in our favour. It would be. Yeah,
it would be if they did it right.
In the right way. Anyway, listen, let's have a couple of records. We're just going to have a couple of records. You have a bit of a rest. I'm just going to pause the record. We've got Sean on well, so we'll be back after.
Got my laptop on, and I feel alright. I got a few joints rolled, and my munchies made. Got Raconteurs news. Sur Raconteurs. Sur Raconteurs. Sur Raconteurs news. Raconteurs news. Raconteurs news. Raconteurs news. Raconteurs news. Oh yeah.
Good evening and welcome to Raconteurs News. It's Tuesday, the 24th of October. Where is the year going? I know I say this every single year, every single show. Where is the year going? That's the question. Up and are we? I don't know. Anyway, some other bollocks that comes out of my mouth when I'm introducing the show. My name's Jason Holmes. I'm here to remind everyone, and not just for Aid today. And we've got an incredible guest on tonight, and welcoming back to Raconteurs New guest. I can hear him moaning. I'm looking at him laid down, and he seems to be in a lot of pain with his back.
I've got my feet up.
The soldier, and he's still managed and attend and join us on Raconteurs News. Colin Worrall, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, fair to middling, mate. Fair to middling. As always, as everyone is at this minute in time, aren't we? We're all struggling, all peed off, all annoyed, but I'm there. I'm still plodding on.
Oh, brilliant! Well, I can see you. I see you. You're clearly in a lot of pain, and I do feel for you, but. I'm afraid you're going to have to talk to me for a couple of hours because I'm here. I've got me glass of me gin and tonic, and I'm in front of the fire. I'm just waiting to find out what it is that the information you're coming to bring us. So why don't we start off with a brief background? You've been on Raconteurs, and we are quite aware of, but for the listeners, anybody that's listening that hasn't heard of you before or doesn't know you from or didn't hear the Raconteurs News episode that we did before, why don't you just give us a brief rundown of who you are, what it is that you do?
If you Google my name, and according to Home Mail, I'm an activist.
Right, that's a newspaper.
Yeah, sorry, the Home Mail is our daily news. Well, not newspaper, it's a live paper, isn't it? I'm an activist. To the councillors, I'm the Western Hate Mayor. To the councillors and MPs of Hull. But all it's been about for me is in the area, sorting the area out, trying to find out. We've all got a lot of problems. Sheffield, same as Hull, has got its problems, and we was the biggest housing estate in Europe at one point.
Is that the Sutton Fields one, or is it the Sutton Fields, or is it called Brandzone? Brandzone, right?
Brandzone. Sutton Fields is right next door to us. That's where quite a few jobs are.
Yeah.
So basically, the housing estate was the biggest housing estate in Europe, and the council have just bled us all dry, basically. Took all the money and not done nothing in.
I'm gonna have some fun with this one here. Woo-hoo! In the morning, when I wake up, all I want is Mary Joanna. In the evening, when I'm thinking, all I want is Mary Joanna. If you look in my eyes, you will see what I've done. Every minute, every hour of every day. But life is like a smoke. In the end, I'm gonna choke. So all I do is live my life from day to day.
my God, you know you better watch yourself because I know you're waiting on the one. Cause I'm telling you, consonant. Cause you know the one that I take off away and you let me see you do that run. Run, the one that they clan, the one that done. Cause I know you cannot be me now, what you wanna do. Cause I'm about to break it down, me, cause cause you know you cannot fade me now, let you wanna. You better back it down now, because I'm telling you, what bar, bun bar, can I wonder? Because you know you like the way you put that pick up. Cause I'm telling all you fools what happened, and in a mercy. Now what you wanna do, and in a mercy. Now what you wanna do, and in a mercy. Now what you wanna do, and in a mercy.
If you look in my eyes, you'll see what I've done. Every minute, every hour of every day. But life is like a smoke. In the end, I'm gonna choke. So all I do is live my life from day to day. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, then you pass it to me. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, then you pass it to me.
Come on, baby girl, let's get it going on. I'ma hit the highway and do it my way. It ain't no game, girl, so I don't play games. I keep it up straight, right up in your face. So make your mind up, cause life is too short. I got the vest on, boy, put your belt on. Stop acting all cool like Kanye West, boy. You be riding through the wire and the camera get on fire. You don't want that, no, I don't want that, no. This goes out to pimps and chicks, so slow. Hit the backseat when you're doing the licking, kissing, squeezing. Do the damn thing, man.
You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, press it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, marijuana to me. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, press it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, marijuana to me. You got to lick it, stick it, bend it, press it, stack it, burn it. All I want is roach and smoke, marijuana to me. In the evening, stick it, bend it, crease it, stack it, burn it, pack it, roll it, poke it, roach it, smoke it, marijuana to me.
Good evening and welcome back to Raconteurs News with me, Jason Holmes. I'm here with Colin Worrall this evening when we're having a great chat. Just had the couple of records. Paul Young, No Parlay, one of my favourites. I don't apologise for that. And also East West, who's my bestest friend from when we were growing up, and it's marijuana. So anyway, I just want to tell you people that next week, Raconteurs 2 will be on the 30th on Monday. I've got. This is going to be confusing for you. Right, but I'm going to try and explain it to you. I booked Toby for Tuesday next week, but unfortunately on Tuesday, Wednesday are playing at home. So I've got a season ticket for Sheffield Wednesday, so I'm not going to be doing that Tuesday. I'm going to do a show Wednesday, but I'm going to try and move Toby to Raconteurs 2 on Monday, and we'll do 2 hours. Because he's got some great new information that we need to hear. So look forward to that next week. It's going to be on Monday. It's the 30th. I've got it down as 31st on the website, but we're going to change it because with Wednesday playing on Tuesday, that means I'm going to have to move Toby to Monday. If you can understand that.
So, just 1 minute. So is that Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday?
You know, I'm getting confused. I just went downstairs to my wife earlier on. I said, "Oh my God, Toby Lee booked in for Tuesday, but Wednesday are playing on Tuesday, and God, so I'm going to have to change it to Monday." And it reminded me back in the day when I was on a job. I got into we got to go to a meeting, and somebody said, we've got to go to this meeting in February, in March. The place was March in Cambridgeshire. The meeting was in February. So, I got totally confused. So it's a little bit like that situation. Anyway, Colin, where were we? Where are we at? It's with this little cat and a gin and tonic in my hand. Well, what are we talking about now? I got up. That's one good thing I'd like to report to everybody. He's
sat up
out of his bed, so at least that might be a little bit better.
No, it doesn't. It makes it worse, actually, but shit happens, doesn't it? We just plod on. Just plod on. Just keep going until you drop.
So, how deep does this corruption go? You know, the councils. I did mention earlier on with Barnsley Council and Sheffield Council is just elbows deep in corruption.
It's every single one of them.
And is it just when we're paying this council tax and we're paying the fines that we get for parking, you know, in places where we perhaps shouldn't park? Where's all this money going? Is it all going into this pot? And are we?
That's a good question, isn't it? It's the mystical question of life. We do all things wrong. We get punished. We pay. Hey, I'm the first one to hold my hands up. If I do something wrong, I don't mind paying. You know, if I've done something wrong, I will pay. We're living in an era now where these people, they're not clever people. They're seriously not. Just because somebody's been to university and college, that doesn't make people clever.
No.
In fact, when I was taxi driving many donkeys years ago, we used to pick up students. Well, if we picked up 4 students, we'd always do the fare so you could not split it by 4. Because students could not work out how to split money. And you'll find out if you go with, even if you go to talk to kids, you've got to be careful what you're talking about, ain't you, with kids? Even if you go talk to kids this day and age, and you say, right, what's half of £3.50? They will struggle.
Yep.
No one knows where the money's going because nobody's allowed to know where the money's going. I asked many years ago when Hull City Council had borrowed. Oh God! Now you're gonna have to forgive me on this. I don't know if it's £550 million they borrowed 3 years ago. There was another section of £300 million or something that Hull City Council, the whole Labour Council borrowed about 10 years ago. And I asked the question, well, who are we paying this money to? And why are we paying it? Because Hull City Council receives £400 million off the residents and £400 million off central government. No one can explain where it's gone. Nobody.
Right.
You asked them, we don't know. Well, we bought new vans. But you haven't bought new vans, you're renting them. If you'd have bought new vans, you know, I'd accept that. But you rent these things. There's just that much, and it's not just Hull. It's a full country. People need to start realising that they're getting conned every day, daily. Whether it been council tax, whether it's been your gas and electric. Because now have you realised that gas has been put into every household in the country? Right. Every single person now, every household in the country is having to have gas and electric. Obviously, this is only for council. I don't know if you've bought your house. I don't know if it's a different ballgame. But with councils...
Well, I bought my house, both my houses, and they've both got gas and electric.
where you can get by on one or the other. Council's done it just recently in Hull, where they've made every household in Hull then, obviously it's not everywhere. Obviously, again, this is just council. So it might be Sheffield, I don't know, it might not. But anyhow, Hull City Council have put in gas into every single household. So now you're having 2 bills, aren't you? No matter what, you've got 2 bills.
Yeah.
And you've got your standing charge. So you've got 2 standing charges before anything else.
Before you've even cooked a sausage.
Yeah, before you've even before you've turned everything off, you're paying. Because no matter what, you're paying. You have to pay the daily charge, whether you use some or you don't. So so now, basically, that was all put in. This is to get revenue. So where's all this revenue going? I don't know, mate. I'm on that. I don't know. I'd love to find out, but I think it'd be quite scary to realise how much money is just getting filtered off. And it's a shame.
Well, you see, Colin, it's not that difficult to see, is it? I mean, what you do is you look around and you think about particularly in Sheffield, and I'm going to come from a Sheffield point of view, but particularly in Sheffield, this money seems to be siphoned off into ridiculous artwork. I mean, in Sheffield, we've got outside the train station what is basically a huge urinal. It's it's a metal thing that's got water running down it. It's a huge urinal, and that's right. So the money's being siphoned off. These private companies are building these monuments and doing all these things that are not necessary. I mean, the roadworks that we see these days that seem unnecessary, how they change things. It just seems like what they're trying to do is we get your money off you, and then we're going to put it into these private companies to do these jobs and these things that really aren't necessary.
Yeah, we've got great big Tampax in Queen's Gardens in Hull.
Did you just have? Haven't you just had in Hull? Didn't you just have a blade from a wind farm?
That's correct. For 3 months.
Sat there in the middle. I mean, this is just pointless stuff which wastes money, puts money into the pockets of. It puts public money in the pockets of private companies.
That's because of the City of Culture. We have the City of Culture in Hull at the moment. And I thought it was a good idea. The Blade, they called it. But I thought it was going to be there for the year.
As a Sheffield Wednesday fan, I cannot endorse anything called The Blade.
No, not yet. And I thought, well, for a year, yeah, okay. You know, it's a project. It brings people to Hull. You know, they'll come and see it, and you know, take selfies with it, things like that. You know, it makes the idea is good. It's just where's the money going to produce that idea? Like that was only there for 3 months. Now I was scratching my head, thinking, well, that's a waste. Why isn't that there? If that's so like an art thing, why isn't that there for the full year? Why only 3 months? So, I'm not into art. I don't do art. You know, I'm not. I can do a stick man and that's it, and a dodgy house with square windows and that's it. That is my art, with the Lowry type shite. That's it. And if something is to bring something to the area, then yeah, you want that. You want to bring revenue, but where's all this revenue going? That's the problem. That's a big question. If they're getting 800 million pounds a year from central government and the residents, and they're getting X amount of millions for whatever project they're doing, roads, etc., which aren't getting done, where's the money going?
Well, what do you think about like these projects like the City of Culture? Hull is the City of Culture. It was the City of Culture. It's been Glasgow. What do you make of these? I mean, these are just a ways where there's more investment, but it seems that the investment's going down the plug hole. It's like it's being siphoned off by the same people. And Mithrin has made a good point as well. Mithrin in the chat room's made a good point. He said, could the money be dribbling away to a country in the Middle East? And also, I just want to make the point, and I just want to do this purely for comedy. I know this is serious, but this is just me joking. But the people that decide on whose city is going to be the City of Culture, right? They should be the people that go and find Madeleine McCann. Because if they can find culture in Hull, finding Madeleine McCann will be a piece of piss in Portugal, no matter where she is. And that's just, and this is not a slight on Hull. I fucking love it. I love the area. I love the place. I go there. I visit regularly. To be fair, there isn't really very much culture, is there?
No, there isn't. Unfortunately, like I said at the start, the same people's faces are in politics, no matter where you go.
Mm-hmm.
And these people are the ones that are supposedly coming up with these ideas, and it's horrendous. Because, yes, they're good ideas. They're great ideas. But I wouldn't pay the City of Culture... This really ticks me off. I wouldn't pay the City of Culture... chief executive is 150 grand a year or whatever it is, 120 grand a year, plus a house, plus perks, plus whatever else they've given him that they haven't told everybody, and then have staff working for nothing. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have that. At the end of the day, these people that are doing this City Culture for nothing, any volunteering work, it's such a shame that we're in the volunteering system where it doesn't matter if you're working or not. If you're volunteering, we'll leave you alone. And to me, when someone's been paid 120 grand a year and they've got, I don't know, I think about 50 staff that are actually doing it for nothing, and my hat goes off to these people because nobody can afford to do anything for free nowadays. No. And unfortunately, a lot of people are, and the ones that are taking the piss are getting paid the mega bucks. And I just find that so wrong. I just do. I think it's an excellent idea. I do. I think the City of Culture thing is great for any city if it brings people in. If it actually does what it says on the tin, if it actually boosts the shopping trade.
But does it do that? Is there any evidence of that happening?
The council's killed the shopping trade in the first place.
Yeah.
The council's put the rates up that much that it's just suicidal. I think you'd have heard of it. You'll have seen it. Mr. Chills on St Andrews. As you're coming into Hull on the right, is that lovely, great big Chinese restaurant.
Right.
And it's called Mr. Chills. I was talking to him a few months back, and he was telling me how much just not council tax, not property tax, business tax or something like that he has to pay. And it's somewhere in the region of about £30,000 or £40,000 a year. And I'm sort of like, well, how do you actually afford to keep open? Because if you work that out, then you work out staff wages, then you work out gas, electric, water. This is all without buying food in. And it's just, you're going into mega money just to keep afloat. And he's telling me, well, I'm just keeping myself afloat. And, I'm not loaded. Whether he's lying or not, I don't know. But
and that's no way to live your life, is it? I mean, if you've got a successful business like that, you would expect you would be able to make a decent living out of it without but it just seems that the regulations and all the taxes and everything, it just seems that it's just been outpriced for everybody.
Woulda, shoulda, coulda is where the money's going. That's what I keep asking all the time. Where is the money going? And it's the same scenario every time. Yeah.
Oh, laid down again. Nice one, Dave.
Yeah.
Colin. We'll call you Dave then. Colin. Nice one, Colin. He's laid down again, everybody. Folks, he's injured his back a little bit. Walking the dogs earlier on, and he's laid on his bike. But listening to Raconteurs News, I'm Jason Holmes. I'm talking with Colin Worrall. We're talking about the corruption in all council mainly, but in all councils, I think that this applies to everything, doesn't it?
I personally do. I personally think it's everywhere. I might be wrong. Only people can say, can't they? And if anyone... I don't think anyone is going to turn around and say anything different, because I've never come across a person yet that hasn't said, well, our back council's brilliant. I've never come across it. So it's got to be every council. And some of these people start waking up and realising how much... Because it's all of us getting conned. It's not just me. It's not just your neighbour. It's every single one of us that are actually getting conned. And that's the worst bit about it, because we're taught, we know what right from wrong. And this is Charlie, by the way. All right, yes. All right, get off.
You can't see Charlie at home, but Charlie's, I think, is a dog.
Yeah. You think, right.
I've got a raccoon. I've got a raccoon, you've got a dog.
Good effort. Right, get off me now. Right, thank you. It's every single city, mate. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am.
Well, I tell you what, we've got like about half an hour left, so I'd like to get into the activism that's going on in Hull. I know that you've recently spoke at Hull Truth Juice, and I know that is a group. It's somewhere where I'm intending to some point, so that I can just have a chat with everybody and grab the vibe.
Oh well, January.
What is going on in Hull that is fighting back against this?
Me just getting exposed all the time.
Well, you've not exposed yourself tonight, which I'm glad of.
I don't know. Doing another talk in January at Hull Truth Juice. You'll have to get Kirsty to Kinder to put it on, because I don't know if it's the 20-odd, 24th or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. But UK Column are coming up to do a little chat. I'm having a chat as well with everybody. Just all we can do, mate, is like I'm doing next year, standing again in local elections in Hull, just to embarrass them, just to expose them all, just to sort of like, look, you're all breaking the laws. They've all been put in notice that many times up to now, and I mean Article 61 notices, where they've all been told, wrote to, the full works, and they just ignore it. They just don't give a rat's ass about anything. So I'll just carry on doing that until I get elected. I'm banned from all the papers. I'm banned from the radio. I'm banned from TV because, unfortunately, I keep opening my gob. So
well, you'll never be banned from this radio show, because we like to give people a voice, people that don't necessarily get a voice.
Yeah.
On other platforms, and so you'll always have a voice, and you always have an open invitation to come back on here. So I just want you to sort of like, so far we've just been talking about things that are wrong. Let's talk about, for the last, well, we'll get 15 minutes or whatever. Let's talk about what's right. What are we doing? What are people doing? What are the good things that people are doing? Who's the people in your area who are doing the good things and who need to be mentioned, you know, because I know that Truth Juice Hull, we had Mark Salon a couple of weeks ago, and he posts in there sometimes as well. I've noticed that. So, you know, who are the good people that are doing the good work?
I'm still thinking. Hang on.
Okay. You keep thinking.
I am. I think that'll be. I think that's the end of the 15 minutes of that.
All right. Okay.
I honestly, do you know something? I wish I could put my hand on my heart and say, "This is happening." Nah. So many people are waking up now, mate. Same as you, same as I, same as others. There's so much shit going on in there. Is anything good? Is there anything? For God's sake.
Anybody doing any good stuff? I mean, listen, all I want you to do is just like sort of...
I know, I wish I could. Do you know something? I wish I could. No, there's nothing happening in the past 3 years in Brandsholm. They've not done anything. They've not sorted the houses out.
So you feel a bit lonely in this quest that
I don't give a rat's ass, to tell you the truth. I don't feel lonely. I feel let down by the system. The system that I always believed was right, and the system that I always thought was honest, and like everyone else, believing that, you know, if you had a gripe or complaint or whichever, I always thought that I'd get sorted out. I've found out, same as you have now, that it's all a lot of BS. It's just people milking us left, right, and centre for their own for their own greed, for their own gravy train. And unfortunately, that's the system that we live in. That's the system that we are in now, is where these people are just bleeding everybody dry for no reason, for their own greed. And that's it. There's nothing that the Labour councillors has done now on Brandsholm in Hull. They've done pockets in the town oh my God, yeah, they did that. They redid all the footpaths from Whitefrigate, from Trinity Church to Whitefrigate, all the way down to Prospect Street, and yet they never replaced the drains first. They left the old drains in there. So they've done as much use as chocolate fire guards. Where they should have done something that they could have done something properly, they don't. In Hull, you'll get the second hand. It looks good. The end finish always costs a lot, but usually, if you look underneath, it's all second hand crap, and that's all we get. And that's Hull alone.
Well, I like Hull. Listen, I like Hull. I visit a lot, and I used to do. It just reminded me, because somebody's put in the chat room, and I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but somebody put Hull is lovely, just full of cunts.
Yeah, Hull's great when you're leaving.
I used to fucking years ago. I mean, on a Sunday night, I used to do Yates's in Hull.
Oh yeah.
And I had what stood out for me was if I played a fast tune, like let's just say I played fast tune. If I played, I think I played one night. I played Faithless, Insomnia, and the bouncer. And they went, "Oh, you're going to turn this off. You're going to turn this off. Put some R&B on. Put some slower on. Put something slower on." And it just seemed that. What is it with Hull that the people there see? I know they're good people, but it just seems that we can't. We don't seem to be able to control them.
We don't like change.
Why can we not control them in a nightclub, but yet we can control them within government and within councils?
We don't like change. We like things like the Birdies song and stuff like that, you know, proper songs and proper get-together tunes. That's it. I don't know, Matt. I honestly don't know. It's a good question, isn't it? Because what is wrong with Hull? Nothing. Nothing's wrong with Hull except the idiots that are screwing us over. The people are all honest. There's not one person in Hull that isn't honest, except when you talk about.
Do you know what? I would say that as well. I've never come across somebody in Hull, and I've visited quite a lot. I've never come across anybody in Hull that's been disingenuous, shall we say?
Not one person.
If they're a cunt, they'll openly be a cunt.
Yeah. Well,
and if they're not, they won't.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that seems to me like, you know, that seems to me to be
a spade's a spade.
You've got a choice, but the choices are so far apart that, you know, it's difficult to get any.
It's like this. Yeah, if you're, I suppose, just me personally, because I can't talk about everybody in Hull, can I? But me personally, if you come up to me and you're a cunt, I'll tell you you're a cunt. It means, but people don't like that word, cunt. They don't want to hear that word. And you sort of like, but it's just a word. It's just a meaning. For us in Hull, it means you're an arsehole. You're a shithead. You're not nice. You're not a nice person at all. It sums up everything nasty that is in that person. A spade is a spade to us. It's not a shovel. It's not. It's not a rake. It's not anything else. It's a spade, and that's it. It's just we. Well, I suppose it's the way we've all been brought up. Well, the way I've been brought up. Say what you feel. If something's wrong, it can't be fixed if you don't say it. And if you don't say nothing, don't expect to have anything done.
No.
But unfortunately, that's just on the estates where we live. That's just on them. Where we're talking about the councils and a different world is the councils. You have to talk properly. You have to be nice. You have to say, look, you're being naughty. No, you're not being naughty. You're a fiddling piece of shit because of what you've done. No, you can't say that. You can't say that to them. You have to say, oh, that was very naughty of you. I mean, someone come up to me when I was in UKIP, a woman in there, and she said, oh, Colin, you can't talk like that about them. I said, you what? I said, oh, you can't talk like that about the councillors. I said, but they're arseholes. Oh, Colin, no, they're not arseholes. Can't you calm it down? Can't you say something else? I said, well, like what? What would you like me to say about them?
Yeah.
Well, can't you say that they're not nice? Well, I have done. They're cunts. No, it's a horrible word, that. I don't like to hear that word. Well, sorry. You know, but to me, why beat about the bush?
Again, we're talking about conditioning, aren't we? We're talking about people that have been taken away from that word.
Yeah.
And so that if anybody uses that word, the word cunt, which I will use because it's a perfectly legitimate word.
It's in the dictionary.
If somebody uses that word, then people distance themselves simply because of the language, whereas the message itself is ignored.
Yeah, unfortunately, we live in a three-tier system, I think. A three-tier, not system, three-tier sections of how you talk, how you should talk, and how to talk. And unfortunately, I'm at the bottom level of it because I've worked all my life. I've paid all my taxes. I've paid all my rents. I've paid all my bills, all my flipping life. That's how I've been brought up. Same as we've all been brought up. Pay your way. Then when you realise, well, hang on a minute, e.g. the council tax. Right. Where's that money going to? Is it going to the Middle East? Is it going to something else? Oh, yeah. Well, it might be. It might not be. Well, let's find out. Ask the people who should know. And then when you start getting road railed and blocked and...
But that's what they're scared of, isn't it?
questions.
You ask anybody questions. I mean,
Yeah.
even on a low level basis, if you get to, I mean, you're talking about councils and councillors, and you're asking them where the money's gone. But even on a low level basis, if you ask somebody something, and what's interesting for me is that these are people that are railroading and blocking and denying justice to other ordinary people.
Yep. It's all illegal.
It's completely illegal. But I mean, who's going to?
Sorry, no, because I've been down that road. It's not illegal. It's legal fraud.
Yeah.
You work that one out. Because when I got told that, I must have looked so puzzled on my face. How can you have legal fraud?
Yeah, well, you can't, can you? It's an oxymoron.
No.
But again, it's we've been talking about earlier on when we were saying that the world's upside down, war is peace.
Yeah.
And poverty is good. I mean, and this is we're being dragged. It's not like as a civilization, I think that we're falling into this trap, but I also think that we're being dragged into this trap as well.
We're legally raped. That's what we're getting. We're getting legally raped.
Raped.
Because they can do what the hell they like.
Yeah, of course we are. Yeah. For fuck's sake. But the problem we've got is, is that I noticed this when I went on a football forum talking about Sheffield Wednesday, and it was called Owls Talk, and it's a bag of shit fucking forum. But anyway, I went on there, and I said, "Listen, I don't pay tax. Yeah. And the amount of grief I got saying, "You don't pay tax. Oh my God, you're so irresponsible and everything." And it was like the bloke. It was like everyone's been raped by the tax man.
Yeah.
And
it's fine.
Everyone, instead of standing for themselves, is attacking the bloke that's avoiding being raped.
Yeah, it's fine.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, I know exactly.
I'm not paying me tax. Yeah,
I know exactly.
That seems to be the mentality that we've got as a society, is that you go, "Oh, you should be paying your tax like everybody else is." Well, actually, no, I'm not paying my tax. If you want to be raped by the fucking government and you want to be raped by and have these taxes, don't criticise the bloke that decides he's not going to be raped. That's how weird the system has got.
Yeah, it's totally backwards. It's totally backwards, because when you challenge these people, and I hope some of the listeners, or if anyone's listening to this in the future, I hope they get off their frigging asses and do it, because the sooner we get ordinary people into politics and get this where everything's shut, you've got to understand that the same faces are in your residents' meetings, or in your councillors, or in the council. It's always the same faces. The reason why it's because everything's closed, because they're the only ones that are screwing the system. But it's legal. They're legally allowed to do it, which is the worst bit of all, because when you sit down and work out, right, if I went and stole from our local shop, Christ, by now, if I did it now, I'd be national news tomorrow. I might actually go do that, actually. What a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, get me a pocket rope knobs.
Yeah, I might actually go and rob some stuff from Asda. I tell you what, I will be front page news. I'll be on calendar. I'll be the worst criminal going, because I've stolen something.
If anybody doesn't know what calendar is, it's a regional news programme here in Yorkshire.
Yeah.
Yorkshire.
Or Look North, or any one of them that I'm banned from, that I'm not allowed on, then I'm seriously thinking about this now because I've done it when I knocked on the MP's door and asked him, and I did only ask for him to accompany me to the police station. That got me front page news for 2 days. I reckon I could be on the Sun and everything, couldn't I? But again, I won't be able to express my side. I won't be able to say.
Of course. Listen, as somebody who's been on the front page of the Sun, I know that they're not going to put your side to it. I know that. I absolutely know. Listen, we've got a few comments in the chat room. I just want to bring up. I don't know who this one is, but they've put lots of weird stuff goes on in Hull, like the petrol pumps at Orchard Park that used to play Radio 2. Lots of electronic stuff done during the Cold War there. So I don't know what that is. I don't know. I think that's Andy. And then we've got somebody who says fundamentally and I'm reading this verbatim, so I've not read this before, so it might not make sense, but I'm trying to do my best. I'm not a radio presenter. I used to be a DJ years ago, but nothing. I'm not a radio presenter. I'm not trained. I've not done anything. I've not gotten background in media or anything like that. But anyways, Anon 5643 said fundamentally you should pay tax. However, if your money is going somewhere bad, then you should morally withdraw it. Yeah.
Yes,
so
it's illegal.
Anon
it's illegal.
In the chat room, they're saying should pay tax, which I agree with, and you know, if there was a decent tax rate, I would pay this.
Under Article 61 of the Charter, anything that is illegally done and all this and the other stuff, you're not allowed to do it. You can't pay taxes if it's going to support wars. What good is that? I don't mind paying taxes if it's going to our armed forces to keep them in a job. But as we know now, there ain't hardly any armed forces. We haven't got any fleets anymore. We haven't got anything. So where's all that money gone? This is bigger and bigger questions of that's what the money was for the tax in the first place. Under Article 61, the Magna Carta Act, everything is written down in that we can do and we can't do. And these people are disregarding any laws. They don't associate laws with themselves. As Ian Anderson turned round to me and stated, we are allowed to fiddle. And that, to me, was a psychotic idiot getting paid the whole public's money, paying this idiot that's a fully qualified solicitor, barrister, whatever, 100 grand a year, plus perks, all this and the other shit, to actually fiddle every person that's voted in Hull. Now, whether you believe in voting or you don't believe in voting, is nothing to do with this. It's to do with that these people are allowed, or their state, they're allowed. You try it. All you have to do is try it yourselves. Ask your own councillors questions. Put in FOIs. Ask the chief executive questions. Put in FOIs to him. And you'll see that you get sent on such a merry-go-round that just goes on and on and on for years and years and years. Because these people are psychotic lunatics, and they're paying themselves, and whatever other money is going missing. Because I reckon in Hull alone it's billions. I can't talk for Sheffield. I can't talk for anywhere else. All I can talk is for my own city. And I'm one resident that's found out about money gone missing, stood up and said to the councillors and the council, look, this is not on. This is theft. No, it's not theft. It's legalised fraud. That's the mentality you're dealing with.
Was that the language that you used? Legalised fraud.
Yeah.
and that just shows you everything that you need to know, doesn't it?
Yeah.
They know exactly what they're doing. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not by accident.
Oh yeah,
it's by design. I think Mithrin earlier on in the chat room said that it's by design. It's not by inadequacy or
yeah. They know exactly what they're doing. They've got this off to a T because they've been doing it for so many years, decades, and all this and the other. They've got it off to a T. Well, I'm a loner. I'm an idiot. I shouldn't even be in politics because I'm a total frigging idiot, mate. And nothing goes in. It just goes in there and out there. That's me because I don't listen. And until I hear something about 10 times, then it starts sinking in. But until that happens, I'm still going over on the novice side of what these people are allowed to do. Get off your asses. Let's get ordinary people in politics. Let's get ordinary people in businesses. Let's get ordinary people. You'll soon find there's billions and billions of pounds free everywhere, coming out of every orifice, because this money has got to be going somewhere. Where the friggin' hell's it going? Where is all our money going? And no one can answer it. Nobody. No one can say they trust any councillors, they trust MPs, because nobody does. Nobody can say they trust civil servants, because nobody does. But then when you say, I don't trust civil servants, you've got to be careful, because all of a sudden you get a fire. I've had a fireman going off at me saying, well, I'm a civil servant and I'm trustworthy. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the political side. Well, you've got to state that. You've got to be so precise with your words. And unfortunately, an idiot like me comes along and just scatters a full lot of the brain cells, screws them all up, mentions it, and then other people start joining in. That's what we need to do. Start getting everyone together. Start saying, look, this Article 61 Magna Carta thing, let's all have that. That's to me is a law. It's been set out from 1215, 16, 17 AD. Forgive me, I must have got the bloody dates 1215 AD. It's worked well. It's worked well, and yet these people are abusing it. They're abusing the police. They're sending. I've had councillors and MPs sending the police round to my house. When I get the police, I'm thinking someone's died in my family or something seriously happened. I'm thinking something seriously wrong. These people are not on this flipping planet. They seriously are, and it's annoying. It frustrates me. It pees me off. And I know I keep going back to them. And I know I keep going back to the same thing because I've had enough. Like you, like everyone else, I've had enough. If I've had enough, who else has had enough? What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do? Are we going to start sorting this shit out? Are we starting to start making these people act by how they're supposed to bloody act, legally act? Or what? I'm fuming with all of it, Matt.
So listen, we've got about 5 minutes left. I just want to. Andy's just put in the chat room. Somebody's put on 5643 has said to me that you may not have a broadcasting background, Jamie. I love how everyone always gets my name wrong, but you are doing a good job keeping the show interesting and engaging. And Mithrin's put, yes, it's a law, but it has fuck all to do with us, for fuck's sake. And so that I think that's suppose it's behind it. So in the last couple of minutes, where can you find your work? Where can people find to do things? And where can people find somewhere to become active?
I think they've got to start accepting responsibility for themselves and their areas and start standing as local councillors. getting the rot out your council for starters. That's got to be the start of anything. Because no matter how much you talk to these people, they're just cry wolf, run away and hide. Nobody's accountable. Nobody. So possibly that's a start. Nobody. People getting up and start being for their areas how things should be. Maybe I'm sorry.
So your message will be getting.
Sorry, say again.
Get involved. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Basically. I think he's dead. Oh, I thought you were dead then.
No, basically, yeah, get involved. Start. It's quite thinking because no one trusts these people anymore. Nobody. None of us do. And unfortunately, when something's as bad as what it is and how rotten as it all is, there's only one way to change it, and that's to do it yourselves. And that's get in, do it, and it's such hard work. It really is. It's not as easy as what you think. It don't cost you now, but start going to these meetings and start pulling these people up and saying what's going on, and you'll see yourselves how rife it is. And maybe you might start thinking, well, bollocks, I'll stand myself then. Do as I've done.
Mm-hmm. Well, I've got to say a great big thank you for reaching out to us here at Raconteurs News, Colin. You're welcome back at any point, and I'm not being like a bell end, and saying that you're welcome back anytime, but you are welcome back anytime. I'm just trying to. I'm trying to be ingenuous with you, So, but anyway, thank you very much for coming on tonight. This 2 hours has flown by. Yeah. So I'll give you the last word. Give us about 30 seconds of something that a message that you'd like to give to people.
I think I've bored everybody enough because I'm always boring the wife with it, and. I'd like to say, everything's going to be rosy and have a real good, backup line and all that lot. But to me, unless people start really changing things and start being honest, like we are, we're all taught to be honest. We all know right from wrong. So let's start having some of that in the freaking in all our areas, because all our areas are struggling. Yeah. We're all struggling now. Nobody's fucking well off. Nobody's having mega bloody holidays, are they, and shit like that, and Rolls Royces.
We would be told that though, wouldn't we, by the mainstream media, the TV and everything, and saying that everybody who's on benefits is living the high life, and everybody who gets some help from the state, they completely living the high life, and it's just bullshit.
Great.
We know it's bullshit. But anyway, I've got to end the show anyway. It's 9:00, and thank you very much, Colin Worrall, for coming on. And we hope to send us the details of your next foray into politics, and we'll have you on, and we'll back you up a bit. So. Listen, everybody, thank you very much for listening this evening. Next week, I'm hoping to move, like I said, because Wednesday you're playing on Tuesday, I'm hoping to move Toby Lee to Monday, and we're going to do a couple of hours show.
I thought it was Monday.
On the magistrates' court and that thing. But for tonight, thanks for listening, because if it wasn't for you, we're talking to ourselves. See you tomorrow a bit.
Thank you.
Get the wiggies cause I'm off to the hole in the road. I'm wagging off school and I'm off to the city, watching telly all night and I'm not looking pretty. See, I got this job downtown, selling knocked off ladies watches for £1. For a really dodgy man that I met in a dodgy cafe. You know, he said to me, the girl who sold these yesterday wasn't selling very carefully. Police came along and took her and all my watches away. So if you see some coppers, you grab my stuff and leg it, boy, right away. I'll be in the cafe. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. So it's been a few hours and I haven't sold enough for my bus fare home. Street selling's pretty tough, so I turn on the charm for the lunchtime rush with a smile and a wiggle on my schoolboy touch. So the charm is working in the underground. There's a crowd of men and women gather round, and the watches they are going, the money is a flow. Think I'll take a little extra, stick it in my pocket, spend you later. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way through life. I'm just a boy from Sheffield, making his way. I haven't sold a watch for an hour and I'm dying for a slash. I've had enough of this, so I'm off for a piss. Then a quick walk back round to the cafe. Sitting at his table drinking tea, looks at me suspiciously. Then with a glance at the watch he says, how did you do? He paid me a couple of quid, then he said, would you like to come and work another day? I said I'd come back down on Friday, and to that he said okay. So with £2 in my pocket and another 5 in my shoe, I nipped down to Castle Market where the man who looks like Leo Sayer is selling pots with cockles and prawns. You make me feel like dancing. Then off back to dinner on the Wiggers and then home. I'm just a boy from Sheffield,